Hello friends, it's Julie from Pages and Pens. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here to talk about something completely unreading, writing related. I'm here to talk about piercing. Let's jump right into it. So I'm kind of like bent down because I have you guys zoomed in a little bit more than normal, but today I wanted to talk to you about my Daith piercing. It is something that I looked into for so long because I suffer from chronic headaches and migraines. I would say it's very rare that a day goes by where I don't have some kind of a headache, even if it's just like a low thrum. There's always some kind of pain. My migraines, thankfully, are a little bit more sporadic, but my headaches are constant. I would say like legitimately daily. When I started to realize that I was just burning up my insides with Excedrin, with medicine all the time. I did the ginger chews. I've done some like holistic stuff that I thought might help. And then I started researching and had heard about the Daith piercing. And I am not somebody who has tattoos. I don't have piercings. Like my bottom earrings are like the only earrings that I have. I'm not opposed to piercings, but it isn't something that I got for the aesthetics. So I knew that it was something that I wanted to try. I did a ton of research on YouTube. I watched a bunch of people who had gotten the Daith piercing specifically because of migraines and headaches. I watched people who said it didn't work, it did work. I spoke to my employer who is a doctor but also does a lot of like holistic things, and she said she absolutely believes in acupuncture, and if I think it's going to work at all, just go ahead and try it. So the Daith piercing, also called a Daith piercing, is in the cartilage that comes directly up the curl of your ear. So if you come out your ear canal, the cartilage that is right above your ear canal, that is where the piercing goes through. It is thick. It is thick. It is on an acupuncture point, a pressure point for headache and migraine relief. So the idea is that this piercing acts as a constant applied pressure on that pressure point that can help relieve migraines and headaches. Now, for a lot of people, it reduces the amount of headaches and migraines, but it does not cure headaches and migraines. I knew on the off chance that it worked even a little bit, it was going to be worth it for me. And like worst case scenario, I had a cool looking piercing. I took it to my sisters because I'm the oldest of 4 girls and my other sisters do have some tattoos, and I figured maybe they would know like a place to go, or they could at least come and provide moral support because I'm a big baby. I kind of shot it out to the group and I was like, hey, I want to get a Daith piercing. Here's why. I've done a ton of research, and I'm talking months of research. I looked at medical reviews. I looked at Western medicine, Eastern medicine, acupuncture. I watched vlogs. I watched videos. I watched the procedure get done. I watched information about healing time, like the whole 9 yards. I did research for forever, which is why when I brought this up, my youngest sister, who's 10 years younger than me, said, I'm coming with you. And I was like, dude, I did research for months. What do you mean you're coming with me? She said, yeah, you did research for months. I trust your research. If you think it can work, I'm going with you. And I said, okay. I said, I don't really know where to go. I haven't researched where to go. I just knew I didn't want to do it alone. And I wanted to see if anybody would come with me, and then I was going to start researching where to go. I am somebody who will like make a plan, want to do something, but then drag my feet because I'm not 100% sure that like, what if there's a better place to go to? Or what if there's, you know, a better experience I can have? Or, you know, what if I pick the wrong place and it's not in the right point or whatever? And my sister said, I got this. I'm going to research. I'm going to find the right place. I said, okay, great. And within that same day, from like the morning of mentioning it to the afternoon, we had an appointment to get pierced. The particular place that we wanted to go to was Safe Harbor Body Adornment in Westchester, Pennsylvania. It is a piercing only studio, so there's no tattoos, no nothing else. It's just piercers. The reviews were great. Like everything about it seemed fantastic. When my sister called, because their online scheduling was like a little bit wonky and looked like there was nothing. And in truth, there was nothing for like the majority of January. But when we called, there had been some cancellations. So my sister talked to somebody and she said, hi, you know, my sister and I would like to come in for appointments. We both want the Daith piercing. Here's why we want it. Do you have experience piercing for this particular medical reason? Like, we know it's not a guaranteed, it may not work, but do you have experience piercing for the Daith in terms of like headache relief? we don't just want it to be aesthetic, like it has to be on the correct pressure point. And they said, absolutely, yes we do. A lot of people come in here for that. We know just where to put it. However, when you come in for your appointment, we do a consult on you. Your ear might not be the right shape. We might not be able to get it into the right place for you. It may be too small of an area where the earring would reject, and like we may not be able to do it. So when you come in, we'll assess and see whether or not you guys qualify for like getting the piercing, because there's a chance that you may not. And we said, we completely understand, not a problem. Let's go ahead and book it. We went on Thursday the 23rd, like I said, to Safe Harbor Body Adornment in Westchester, Pennsylvania. The door was locked. It was like one customer in per time. Our piercer was Sarah, who was absolutely adorable and just so knowledgeable and an absolute gem. She talked us through all of the risks, all of the healing times, all of the information about the piercing. Because it is a cartilage piercing, it can take up to a year to heal. There are complications that can occur with it just because it's in a very sensitive area. In general, because it is inside the shell of your ear, it's not getting hit on anything. It really isn't getting moved. It's not being touched. So she said, you know, just instructed us on how to clean it, which was like a spray twice a day. She said, don't touch it ever. Like, don't spin it. Don't like mess with it. Honestly, she said, get the spray, spray your ear, and then use a hairdryer on cool. Like, ideally, you would never touch it. And I said, okay, great. So I did, after the fact, have to get a hairdryer from one of my sisters because I don't use a hairdryer. So that was fine. We had already ordered the saline spray to clean. So I ordered a double pack, gave my sister one. I took one, but they actually also gave us saline spray when we went for the piercing. And then I think all told, between the piercing cost, the jewelry cost, it was $85 and then plus tip. I am so glad that we went to a piercing only place. It was such a great experience. So we went back in the room. She sat me down. I went first because I had to get back to work. So on the off chance that our appointment ran late, I wanted to go first. And she marked where she was going to put it. I didn't look at it because you can't see it. It's in a place on your ear where I couldn't have seen the dot that she put on there anyway. I laid down. My sister came over and like held my hand because, again, I'm a big baby, and she was taking pictures. We couldn't take videos, but we could take pictures. And I'm probably not gonna put them on here just because it does show like a needle through my ear, and it does have like blood and everything. So just in terms of like caution, I'm probably not going to put them on right now. I may put them on later, like at the very, very end, with a disclaimer and a warning. If you want to see how the piercing was done, I can put them there. But basically, she used a receiving tube, which is just a metal cylinder that the needle goes into, because where the needle goes, it does have to sit kind of like on your ear for a second while she gets the jewelry to put through. And it genuinely is so deep in my ear, it's hard for me to tell you or show you. Like right now, you couldn't even tell that I have it. I am going to bring you in closer so you can see it in a minute. And there may, just as a warning, be some residual like dried blood because I'm not messing with it. I did clean it a little bit the first 2 days because I bled a lot, just a spoiler, to clean up some of the dried blood. I did use a Q-tip sprayed with saline, but since then I haven't messed with it. Basically, she lines it up with the receiving tube, the needle on the top, you know, coming down this way. Big deep breath in, deep breath out. It was over so fast. And my sister was like, you didn't squeeze my hand at all. And I was like, well, it didn't hurt at all. There was pressure just because the way that the needle and the tube were laying on my ear was kind of like pushing on the piercing spot. But as soon as the piercing, like the jewelry went in, it was fine. There was no pain. There was like a dull throb that day, and then nothing. It genuinely, I have not felt it. I forget it's there to the point where like I want to go like this and like lean and do stuff, and I know I shouldn't, and I don't. Like I back off as soon as I realize it. But it genuinely feels like nothing. It does not hurt at all. And like, knock on wood, I'm very grateful for it because, again, I'm a big baby. I had said like I didn't even hear a pop. Like there was nothing. Like I heard that in some of the other videos you could hear like a popping sound because it's so much cartilage and it's like right there by your ear. And she said typically that's going to happen with lower grade needles, cheaper needles, and they just use really good high quality needles. Makes it a lot easier for them to pierce. They don't have to push as hard. There's not that popping sound. It was so seamless. My sister and I both got the same piercing, jewelry rather, which is a hoop with a CZ on it, just because I only wear my diamond earrings, so I figured it would just like be matchy. And so we both got the same one. My hoop is a little bit wide, like not, the gauge is the same, but the hoop is smaller on her ear because she has a smaller ear and mine's just a larger ear. So I have a little bit of a larger hoop. Other than that, it was absolutely the same. She sat down and did the same thing, like 1, 2, 3, no problem. I will say I bled like a mother. And she was like, do you drink a lot of caffeine? I said, absolutely not. She said, do you drink alcohol? And I was like today? It was like noon. And I was like, no, I really don't drink. She said, okay, you're just bleeding a lot. Sometimes caffeine and alcohol can make you bleed. And I said, okay. So I had to lay there for a while, but like in an odd position because she didn't want the blood going down into my ear canal, but also like didn't want it coming out onto my shirt and stuff. So I had to lay there for the bleeding to stop. Eventually it did. My sister got into the seat. She got her piercing done. 1, 2, 3, no problem at all. It was genuinely so painless for her. I've touched base with her multiple times in the last like 6 days, and there's been nothing, like no pain for either of us. The last 2 days I've had some like itching, which is just healing, which is fine. Nothing like aggressive, but during the night, one night I did find myself kind of like scratching and like rubbing on it. And I was like, oh no. In terms of headache relief or migraine relief, it's very, very early for me to be able to tell you if that has any bearing. I can say I haven't taken Excedrin since I got it. I haven't had any kind of medicine at all. I will say that today, on the 29th, I do have a headache. I do think that it's pressure related. We have a temperature change coming up. I also had been exposed to COVID at Christmas, so I am quarantining. I'm taking a test tomorrow. So I don't know if that's related at all, but I'm not taking aspirin. It's not bad enough to need it, which is huge for me. A lot of my headaches, just as like a disclaimer, are tension, pressure, and like sinus related, but I do get like actual migraines as well. That being said, they said if you get headaches on one side of your head primarily, get pierced on that side. If you get headaches across the whole span of your head, get it on both sides. I didn't want to commit to getting it on both sides because I thought it was going to be wildly painful. So I only got it on my right side because if I do get located like specific site headaches, it is on my right side. A lot of my migraines will be on my right side. My pressure, tension headaches will be along the back of my neck and both sides of my head, but migraines tend to be on this side. Not having to take any kind of Excedrin for 6 days is a feat for me. That does not happen for me. I have not had any issues sleeping. I was really worried about sleeping, but I do typically lay on my left side, so getting it on the right side was beneficial. I also have an airplane pillow where that like neck hole, I can rest my right ear inside of that so that like my right ear is touching nothing and I can sleep on my right side. I am impressed that as I roll over, because I do have restless leg and I roll over all night long, when I roll over, I reach over, grab that pillow, slide my other one out of the way, put my head on that, no problem. And I switch back and forth throughout the night if I need to. And it has not been an issue. I have not rolled over on this ear and slept on it. I've always pulled that pillow over. So impressed with myself. I legitimately don't know how, because I'm also waking up rested, has not impeded my sleep at all, and I genuinely don't feel it. After I left and I was driving home, I did start to feel blood coming down my neck and I had started bleeding again. So I had to like quick scramble for a tissue, which was definitely not sanitary because it had been in my car, but I did have to just kind of like stop that bleeding. I don't know why, I was just a bleeder. My sister did bleed, not as much as I did, but Sarah also informed us that bleeding was a good thing because it means that it would heal really well. And it also means that there's a decent amount of blood flow through that area where it might have a higher chance of potentially working for a headache relief because it's rerouting that bloodstream. It's creating a block that would hopefully help you in terms of like relief. Do I know if it works for sure? Absolutely not. Could it be placebo? Sure. Do I like the way it looks? 100%. I would absolutely, if you were anywhere near this area, recommend Safe Harbor Body Adornments. It was an absolute pleasure getting pierced there. I would only ever go to an actual piercing studio for something like this because it is so close to your ear canal and so cartilage heavy. It's not like a normal piercing. Like it's not even like a, you know, the cartilage up here. It's thick. Only ever go to somewhere like that. But luckily we had great deep bowls and we were able to get them done no problem. Sarah was fantastic. She informed us that we could DM her through Instagram if we had any issues, even though it was almost Christmas Eve. It was most definitely going to be over Christmas, that we were going to need her help if we needed it at all. But luckily I haven't had any problems. I do have some pictures that I took that I can put in, and like I said, if you're interested in the way that the piercing actually looked, I will have pictures of that at the end. But yeah, I think that's that's kind of it. That's why I got it. That was the process of getting it. The experience itself could not have been any better. I am so glad I got it done. Very few people, because I didn't tell anybody I was doing it, very few people have even noticed that I had it. And those that do immediately know. They're like, is that the headache piercing? And I was like, yeah. Already I have multiple people in my life that are considering going to get it done because they are hearing about it through me or have heard about it but didn't know anybody in person who had gone to get it done. I've got a couple people waiting on me to kind of let them know whether or not it works or not. Third sister is also considering going to get it done because she has different complications with medications where she can't take Excedrin, so she has to take like prescription medicine for headaches that is rather expensive. So she's considering going to get it done now that the two of us have had it done. And then the other sister is like, I'm not gonna be the only one without it. Like, I don't even get headaches, but I will go get this done because it is actually really cute. So I'm really, really happy with it. I'll keep you guys updated on whether or not I see actual results, but so far so good. I'm really, really happy with it. I don't think I anticipated it being this painless and this easy. Again, I'm a big baby, so I anticipated this being way more painful and me being way more whiny, but it's been so lovely. And I really do think that a lot of that is because of the piercing experience and their expertise and just the quality of piercing. So I'm going to bring you in close, let you see what my Daith piercing looks like, kind of exactly where it is, and then I'll put up some pictures. So use the warning, if you don't like needles or blood, maybe don't watch this or look at those pictures. You're not going to see the actual like point of the needle, but you will see something through my ear and then some bleeding. So just know that. If you don't want to watch that, just stop at the warning. The rest is just going to be the outro, so you don't have to watch that part. And it's just going to be pictures, not videos. But let's bring you in and let you see what this looks like. This is the Daith piercing, and it's very difficult. Like, I can't see it at the same time you do, so I don't know if you can even see it, but it goes through that piece of cartilage right as you come out your ear canal. Hopefully you can see it because I can't see what you're seeing at the same time you're seeing it. Welcome to my pores and my face. That is the jewelry and that is the piercing. Again, I am sure that there's probably some swelling, but I feel nothing. It is so comfortable. It has been no issue at all. So cute, just kind of like in my little ear well there, and I love it so much. Like I said, stay tuned for the pictures if you can handle them. If not, I will see you later. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, let me know down below. I'm happy to answer them if I can. I will update you guys and let you know if I feel like this works long term, but for right now, all good. If you like this video, give me a big thumbs up, click subscribe, and I will see all of you in my next video. Bye, friends.